Aishwarya Rai Bachchan. Come on everyone, please put your hands together. We are always so delighted to see you on the big screens, and once again we can see you there, and in the trailer you look so gaudy. You have this charm, you know, you are a true beauty. Look, मेरी आवाज लड़खड़ा रही है इनसे बात करते हुए. That's the charm of Aishwarya Rai Bachchan here, guys. आपसे सिर्फ ये जानना चाहती हूँ, what was your experience filming, shooting with this entire star cast, such talent, and this larger than life movie?
Firstly, thank you so very much for your generosity. It's a bit much, but I'm very, very humbled, and thank you very, very much. I'd like to thank everybody here who has come out to support our film, showing us our love and giving us your good wishes and blessings. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. Good evening, namaskar, namaste, vanakkam, namaskaram, and I could say it in every language possible, but being Indian, we'll stick with namaste, and thank you so much for being here. This movie is a labor of love, and beginning with our Guru, Manisa, and when you just asked him that, you know, and I was listening to him, and I've heard him say it so often, and he always says, I'm glad, you know, he made it now. He doesn't know how glad we all are that he made it now. Talk about, he can say it is the right time, but for each one of us here sitting in front of you and everybody involved in the making of Ponniyin Selvan, we are very, very grateful that this is the right time. We surely have been in the right place, and with complete gratitude to you, sir, that we are part of your dream project, that we got to be part of this narrative on celluloid. It is Kalkisa's classic, and you know, everybody in the South is very, very familiar with the books, and you know, it's very close to everybody's heart who has read the book, the series of books actually. But when you discover the story, and you must, and you will, through both these movies, you will know exactly why. It is such an exciting, enticing, interesting, riveting narrative. And yes, it gives you an insight into history, and yet it has the magic of how and where it's been fictionalized, and that is why one can see why a filmmaker like Manisa would want to bring this on celluloid as his dream project. And how fortunate.
You learn so many things and you relearn things. You know, that's a very important part of my life where I got another push in the sense of the way I approach the characters, or the way I select films, or what kind of films I would want to do. You know, rather than running after success, you have to run after happiness or what satisfies you. You know, that gave me a lot of clarity in how I approach work at all. So I think the peace that I have, or the energy that I have to go to shoot, I think it all comes from Mani sir. I cannot say thanks because he's given it to me and I'm a student. But this film I think is too special for all of us, for Mani sir himself. And like we've heard films which have been made from books. Like we know of Harry Potter, we know of Lord of the Rings, which have become classics, where people have read the books and come and watch the film, then gone back and read the books again, become big bestsellers. But now in India, this is one time we're so proud to bring this film to you. This book, which was written in 1950 as a series and then published in 1955, and till today it's one of the best selling books. It's feeding so many publishers till today. It's sold so much. And finally now it's being made into a film where it is in a format where we're talking about our heritage and culture, but it also gives such an engaging screenplay, an engaging story for all of us to watch about characters. So it's not a history lesson, but rather it's a very interesting film, and it's historical fiction. So there are about 40% of it which really happened 1,000 years back, and the rest is fictionalized so beautifully by Kalki sir. So we're all very proud to be just part of it. I was telling sir, even if you want me to act as horse, I would act as a horse. That's how much everybody wanted to be part of it. And this particular film, I think sir really enjoyed making it. Now he's always set standards for visuals and music, And when joining with Rahman sir and presenting this film with Ratnam sir, and all three of them, what they've done on screen was pure magic for us, because we do not have a visual for how India looked 1,000 years back. We do not know, but now we're getting a visual to imagine how our forefathers lived here in India, and how prolific they were, how trades was happening, or how rich they were in sense of art and culture, when the rest of the world was still trying to, form families and become a civilization.
Looking physically different, of course, because we have to belong to that era. I felt like when I was playing Sundavai, it was actually a woman of today, very strong, very empowered, something that I could totally relate to. So that part of Sundavai was something I feel like I took from today, but I just put it in her. But of course, she looked different. She looked like a girl who belonged to that era. So that part of it was something that I think, I don't know how Kalki sir wrote it, because the women are so strong. Sometimes even in some scenes, maybe slightly overpowering the men and having them stand. So that was really challenging. It's not like we're just standing there like princesses and queens. We're actually like over there with brain power and using our intelligence in the kingdom. And especially back in that era, it was kind of frowned upon, because there are dialogues even in the film saying, she's a woman, why is she walking into a courtroom where there are 20 men and saying these things? But that's the kind of strength the women had in Ponniyin Selvan. So yeah, that's why it was more challenging to play it.
As your character Nandini, a lot of people said that actually, however, antagonist, not so, she's just a woman who goes online. I want to ask you about playing Nandini.
That's what I wanted to acknowledge, Pooja, that the answers in your questions, because I can see an empowered woman asking the question, because you obviously respect and appreciate and acknowledge a woman of substance, and I'm glad that you have recognized that the women in this narrative are just that. They are women of substance, and firstly, full power to Kalki sir to have written this at the time that he did. Considering he was delving into a slice of a very, very impactful slice of history, and making the narrative into, like I said earlier, an engaging and an enticing fictionalized piece. Then to write in characters and women to, excuse me, sir, you're in her way. Thank you. Right. And to write characters, the women, in the way that he has, with who, like the ladies here will have already said and will agree with me, that they are contemporary, they're eternal. They're women who will be relatable at any point in time, because women have always been strong. Women have just been given opportunity differently at different times down the ages. So what we women know is we have always had the intelligence. We have always looked for the opportunity to have contributed directly, or we definitely have indirectly, forever. And charted the course of events, of life itself, of contributing to the thinking power of our opposite gender in all the interactions, because frankly we're all human beings. I don't want to get into an entire narrative about now gender equality, but that the fact is that as people, we have always pretty much experienced just being human beings, and we all have thinking power, we all have experiences, and we all pretty much react. We are human beings capable of reaction, of contribution, of having an opinion. And it's wonderful in this narrative how the women too have it or find a way of expressing it. And very honestly, who better than Mani Ratnam as a maker to have brought the characters, the leading ladies in the narrative to life on celluloid, because that's something I can say from experience. In every movie I've worked with him, I've had the opportunity to be that lady or the female character in his narrative. it's amazing. That's something he always also refers to. He's like, what are you thinking? As an actor, he wants the actor to bring to life the thought behind. It's not just the dialogue that is being said or the scene. He likes us to bring what's within to fore. And it's always been about the mind. It's always been about intelligence is not defined in the conventional way, but intelligence has always been attributed to the ladies. I have had to essay with her, whether it was Pushpa, whether it was Kalpana, whether it was Sujata, whether it was Ragini, and today Nandini. So I'm very, very grateful that at every point in time, the women in his narrative are always strong and they always bring substance to the narrative. So it's just very, very engaging and exciting for us. Thank you, Pooja.
Hello everyone.
1 minute, even 1 minute. Shobita needs to answer this too. Please go ahead.
Hello everyone.
Actually, sorry.
Hi, Pooja. Hi. My experience has been slightly off-center in the sense that I've largely played parts that were slightly more steeped in the kind of stories they belonged in. They were slightly more intense, and this was an opportunity for me to play somebody who's nimble-footed, someone who's light-hearted, someone who's happy and uncorrupted by human politics. But what was interesting to me was that with Manisa I discovered that innocence, something that my character Vanity embodies, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Proof is that we've gotten almost every beauty pageant. We won almost every title. It's been going on for years. And in fact, actually, incidentally, I'm sitting on stage with three. You're Miss Chennai, Miss. Everyone knows her. You're also Miss India. So that's another thing for what it's going to be. But the thing is, all of them, they've been fabulous. But I don't know why. She's always stolen everyone's heart. And with due respect to these two people here, every time there have been many women who have been queens, but Ash has always been symbolic of that picture of perfection that we always look up to. And I really didn't. I mean, I've seen her films, I watched her, and I think it wasn't just about her beauty. It was what she stood for. How I've always felt she's been under a microscope. It's so very difficult being her. She's constantly being watched, constantly needs to be perfect. And let me tell you, she has done it in style. Like the first time I ever saw her was, she hadn't even got the title yet. I told her the other day, day before yesterday. I was in the crowd. I was still a struggling actor, I think, or I hadn't even gotten her. And as she walked in, suddenly the clock